The Lakers are trying to trade Russell Westbrook already. Reports have came out today that the Lakers and the top personnel in the Lakers are fielding calls. They're calling the NBA. They're looking around. They're trying to see what they can get for Westbrook. And honestly, all I gotta say is I just feel bad for Westbrook. I feel bad for Westbrook because he's an all-time great point guard. He's one of the best one-man machines ever. I compare him to LeBron in that sense that you could put any type of player, any coach around him, and he's gonna drag you. He's gonna drag you to the playoffs. The difference between Westbrook and LeBron is that Westbrook would drag you to the playoffs. LeBron would drag you probably to the finals or conference final. But that's no knock on Westbrook. He's an amazing talent, and if you need a franchise reviver, if you need someone to take you to the playoffs, if you've missed the playoffs for a lot of years, then Westbrook would be the guy that you want because he's gonna revitalize your franchise. He's gonna make you relevant. He's gonna take you to the playoffs. But once you're there, he might not be the guy. As much as a Russell Westbrook fan that I am, because I'm a big one. I used to have a screensaver on my phone that said Bestbrook. They changed the W for a B on Westbrook and it said Bestbrook. And I used to watch his little compilations on YouTube, and I just like the fiery attitude that he has. I like when he does the rockin' a baby. I like how this dude plays. I like his old school mentality. I like how he doesn't really have too many friends. Like, he's cool with Harden and he's cool with KD now, and he's cool with LeBron and he's cool with some other people. But when they're playing, when they're competing, it's you're the enemy, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get this dub against you. And unfortunately, sometimes he doesn't really think. He's not the most IQ. He doesn't have the highest IQ. He's not the savviest player, but he's still amazing. He's still one of my all-time favorite players, in my opinion. But we can all agree that this big three the Lakers formed this year has been nothing short of underperforming, underwhelming. The Lakers have struggled. It's been tough to watch at times, or most of the times. The offense sometimes could be excruciating to watch, where you're just watching and you're like, man, what are we doing? Like, I'm watching because I'm a fan, but this is some terrible basketball. And the Lakers have been fortunate that they've had a relatively very easy schedule to start the season, or it could be worse. If the Lakers would have had a tougher schedule to start the season, this thing could have been just awful. And you could say maybe the Lakers play down to the competition. If they play better teams, they might rise up, and you will see the best Lakers because they do have some quality wins. They did beat the Celtics, but we can all say that Westbrook, AD, and LeBron has not been a smooth ride. By no means. It has not been smooth. It has not increased the confidence of Laker fans. Probably any of the upper management, the coach. I don't think anyone feels better at this point in the season than they did before the season. And usually, you want to see some progress. You want to start dreaming about NBA Finals as the season goes along. And so far, I think it wouldn't be harsh to say that if you're a Laker fan, if you support the Lakers, if you have anything invested in the Lakers, you're starting to lose a little bit of that confidence or hope that you had if you ever had it going into the season. It's winding down. It's little by little. Every ugly game, every ugly turnover, every ugly possession that the Lakers have, every loss to OKC or the Pistons, or just tough loss to the Grizzlies, or any tough game that they've had, it just chips away at your confidence, and you're like, yeah, it might not be the year. This might not be it. And then you see the Warriors, you see the Suns, you see the other teams in the West, and you're like, damn, we gotta get it together. So I get why the Lakers are trying to move Westbrook. I don't see them trading LeBron, obviously. AD, who has not been AD, who he should be getting criticized. He is, but he should be getting more criticism. He has not been, what the Laker fans, Laker management would have hoped. And Westbrook, he's had his up and downs. He's been playing better as of late, but he has had his up and downs. I don't think this is what the Lakers wanted, expected. So I do see, Westbrook being the easy out, being the scapegoat. I do see why Westbrook would be the one that would, be the one to leave. But I like Westbrook, man. I would like him to stay. My best case scenario, the Lakers are able to figure it out. Westbrook continues to be a Laker, and he gets a ring with the Lakers, and it's all kumbaya and everything. Everyone's happy. I'm happy. I get to see Westbrook get a ring, and he gets a little bit of revenge on KD for leaving him like that, just leaving him up and dry. But it's starting to look like, he's not gonna make it past the trade deadline. It's starting to look like this Laker team needs to do something to better themselves, whether it be firing Vogel, which a lot of people are against, a lot of people in the media are against. I've seen the talk shows, the morning shows, Vogel has a lot of supporters in there. Myself, I know he's a defensive coach. The defense hasn't been that great, the offense hasn't been that great. So I like Vogel. I appreciate what he's done, but if he's a defensive coach and the defense isn't good, then we know what is he doing? Like, what I know, there's a lot of things to be a coach. You got to be a people person. You got to management. You got to do a lot of stuff. But his rotations were horrible. He played Jordan way too long. You can't have Jordan starting as your center in 2021. Anyone could have seen that, and there's stats to prove it. That as soon as the Lakers benched DeAndre Jordan, their offense got way better, and it doesn't take a genius to see that. So Vogel might be gone. That could be one of the moves you do. The other move is you just break this big three. You try to get something for Westbrook, and you move on. And hopefully, whoever you bring in gels better than Westbrook. The other move would be trade AD, but that's like the nuclear option that would break the internet. Another option is you just finally get through AD. You tell him to start playing like a big man and not like a point guard, and be a little tougher and shoot better from three, because he's abysmal from three this season. But we'll see what happens. I'm sure you could hear it in my voice. Talking about the Lakers gets me a little irked up, a little frustrated. I'm sure if Laker fans that are watching them will feel the same way, just looking at the Lakers, talking about the Lakers, seeing LeBron approach age 37, seeing AD not ready to take the mantle, seeing Westbrook doing some dumb shit sometimes. It's been a tough season. We'll see how it finishes. We'll see if the Lakers trade Westbrook. For my money, I think he will get moved. This Lakers need to do something. They're not just gonna sit put and let it happen. It's either Westbrook gets traded, Vogel gets fired, or both. So pick your poison. What do you guys want? For my money, Westbrook gets traded, new players get brought on, and it improves a little bit. Vogel keeps his job. But let me know what you guys think.